In today's podcast, we have someone very special to me. Someone who has changed my entire life. Someone who is my first mentor. So the person where I learned everything about e-commerce. So his name is Nishkarsh, who is a founder of Calvin Rose, the a luxurious men's apparel brand, and plus he is also a co-founder of the brand building accelerator program. So I welcome Nishkarsh to this podcast, and it is a privilege to have you on this podcast. Thank you so much for accepting my invite and coming to my podcast.
It's an absolute pleasure. Thank you for having me here.
Yeah. All right. So let's begin. So can you please share your story? Like, how did you become, like an e-com entrepreneur? Like, what is your story behind becoming an e-com entrepreneur?
Hmm. So, if I take you back to exactly where entrepreneurship happened to me, it was the year 2012. Actually, I was in my second year of engineering in 2012, and I realized that engineering isn't really my cup of tea, and I wanted to do something wherein I could make money, have freedom, and all of that. So I started searching for ways to make money on the internet on Google. Then in the next 3 years, I tried multiple things like blogging, affiliate marketing, publishing books on Amazon, Kindle, and all of that. But I could not make a single penny doing that. In 2015, I met someone who was making money online by selling books on Amazon Kindle. He mentored me, and then he's a great friend now. It's been such a long time. So I made my first dollar selling a book. I wrote a book on
Mhm.
Amazon, posted, shared in the Amazon marketplace, made my first dollar from there. Then we started teaching people how to do the same thing. We started an agency, graphic design, web development, all of that. Then in 1.5 years of going live with the business, we started a company in 2015. Finally, I was getting done with my college. In 1.5 years of doing that, we went bankrupt. We had no money left. We built a team, increased our expenses. So we went bankrupt. We had to take two loans, and then we had no clue what to do. That's when I started a video animation service. So I learned how to create animation videos using online tools myself, started offering them on a freelancing marketplace, made money from there, then started growing that business, scaling that business, scaled it to 6 figures USD. Then I was like, I don't want to be in the service space wherein I don't want to, have a huge team or
Mhm.
provide a service like this wherein clients keep asking for revisions. That's when I got to know about ecom, and it was the year 2017 when I got started with e-commerce. I got myself a mentor. His name is Manny. He's from Florida, US. Paid him $10,000 for it, just for his coaching, and I kept around $2,000 to spend in ads. This is way back in 2017. Went live, started, tried drop shipping, general drop shipping from China did not work for me. In the second month, I started doing print on demand or POD, and we had some really good success. We crossed 6 figures in the month of May 2017. And then from that point on till this point on, we've done close to more than 4.5 million dollars in sales. Just to drop shipping. And in 2021, I started Calvin Ross. Calvin Ross, like you said, is a men's luxury, actually a men's and women's luxury apparel brand. We recently
Mhm.
started doing women's as well, wherein we're selling in the US, we're selling worldwide, and then we're also selling in India. And the brand's done more than 3 crore rupees in sales in the first 1 year of going live. I'm pretty grateful and pretty happy about that. So currently, most of my focus is on building the brand with my team. So building it one step at a time. And yeah, that's my story with ecom.
Hmm. All right, all right. Okay. So it was a pretty long journey actually. So I have this one question. Like, I want to ask you from the, what do you say, from the beginning time. So I started my journey from, the 5 day ecom freedom challenge. Then I joined your DD program. Then, then to BBA. So even for me, it was a very long journey with you. It's been
Mm,
almost like
mm,
2 years with you. And
mm,
so what I noticed is that you are someone who keep very positive mindset. Okay. So a very positive entrepreneur mindset. So what is the secret behind this? Because like I've seen you from from the beginning of starting the Calvin Rose, because that's when I started. Okay, there, it's not just you gonna do things overnight, so it takes some time. So you have been sharing all your journey, like how you do it step by step, like every single, like it take a lot of months, and you're sharing the journey in the the weekly Q&A calls and everything. So how do you keep this positive, entrepreneur mindset?
Like I said, there are no, I did not say it. Let's start it from now. So honestly, there are no secrets with this. Even I get negative. Even I face failures and issues, and there are no tricks that can always keep you positive. Like at times, you can yeah, you can see YouTube videos, you can learn a few things here and there. You can fool yourself to keep yourself positive, but it just doesn't really work out. What I've understood is that you just got to do what you got to do. It's as simple as that. You just got to do what's needed. um, like I heard I was seeing a video from Sadhguru wherein Karan Johar asks him a question about that do what you love or love what you do, something related to that. And the answer that Sadhguru gave was so simple, and I think it would really make sense for me to share here. He says that if you're intelligent, you're gonna do what keeps you positive and what you love. But if you are a genius, you'll just do what's needed. And this really vibed with me because I've understood that you just got to detach your emotions from these things,
Mm-hmm.
and you just got to do what's needed. You just got to do what you got to do. And a lot of times you don't have to be positive. Even if you're neutral, it's okay. Like being negative is fine. You can be negative, but then you want to sit with yourself and figure out why the hell am I getting negative. Get yourself to at least being neutral or positive, and then
Positive.
just doing what's needed. That's how I approach this.
Okay. So you just told, like you faced a lot of failures, all these stuff. So
Yeah.
what is your approach to facing? So let's say you faced a failure. Okay. So let's say things didn't go as per your plan. So what is the first step? Like you gonna uh stay negative for how long, or you just like what is a blueprint? I know like you shared this blueprint in the DD Mastermind. So that's why like I'm asking. So it could help a lot of people. So how do
Yeah.
you approach a failure?
So again, like things keep changing, and I think that we keep growing as entrepreneurs and
Mm-hmm.
as individuals. How I deal with failure right now is that if something doesn't work out, and it happens like all the time, there are so many campaigns, so many products that we launch don't work out, and let's say so many things we test that
Mm-hmm.
don't work out. And a lot of these things are things that we spend a lot of time, effort, and money and energy on. So even if things don't work out and if we fail, I just see it as a great thing, because I just tell myself, great, at least now I know that this does not work. Because otherwise I would have procrastinated. I would have always had that thing on my to-do list, that I'm going to do this sometime, I'm going to do this sometime. At least I did it. Fine, I failed at it, but now I've removed one thing from the list that I thought would work. So this means that things are becoming lesser complicated for me, because now I have lesser and lesser things to try to level up my game. So that's
Mm-hmm.
how I see failure.
Got it.
Yeah, I'm not saying that it doesn't feel bad. It doesn't. Yeah, of course I'm human. It definitely does
Yes.
disappoint you. It makes you feel bad. But then if you approach it from this mindset, fine, I gave my best, did not work out. So what?
Mm-hmm.
Let's just move on. That's how I see it.
Yes. Got it. Got it. Yes. Yes. So, my next question will be, so do you have any morning routines or habits you follow? Something like meditation, like something like that. Do you have
Okay.
anything like that?
So there was a proper there was a good stage, a good time span of my life, especially when I was starting out, wherein I was totally into morning routines and reading, these books, the Miracle Morning, and I haven't read the 5 a.m. Club, but I've heard about it. I understand the concept, of course,
Mm-hmm.
and all of these things. And I also tried all of that, and it feels good and everything, but I realized that it did not really work out for me. I mean, I wasn't able to sustain it because I thought that I was pushing myself too hard. And then
Mm-hmm.
I just promised myself that I'm just going to do what works out for me. So one thing before I share my morning routine, before I give you an idea about it, I just want everyone to know that don't just let people sell you on the idea of having a morning routine that works for them. You got to figure out what's working for you. What's working for them might work for you, for sure, nothing wrong with that. But don't push yourself to do things in a way that's working for someone else. You can take inspiration from it, but it's your life and it's your morning. So you gotta see what works the best for you. Now, what I do personally is I just keep it simple. I wake up around 9 in the morning, somewhere between 8:30 to 9 usually. I sleep around 12 or 1 in the night. I go for a walk or a jog in the morning to a park which is near where I stay. I eat a healthy breakfast outside the park. So we've got these vendors who give sprouts and vegetable juice and all of these things,
Mhm.
healthy stuff. So I usually just get them packed and I get them home and I have them with my wife and with my family. Then I just get to work. I freshen up and I get to work. And then once I'm done with my work, I reach home around. I mean, you asked me for the morning routine, but I'm kind of giving you the entire
Mhm.
schedule, I know.
Mhm.
But then what I'm trying to
Yeah.
say is I keep it super simple. And then once I'm done with wrapping up work, I just go home and I spend time with my family. But usually in the morning, it's simple. I just get my me time by going to the park, wherein I'm in the middle of greenery. I talk on the call, talk on the phone sometimes with a friend or a business associate. I talk to my own self. So that my morning routine is more about self introspection in the way it works for me. The park is usually empty
Mhm.
when I go there. It's so green, and sometimes I would talk to someone. Sometimes I would, very rarely I would listen to a podcast or something, very rarely. But sometimes if I see the need and if I feel I'm looking for something like that, then I do it. So it depends on my frame of mind. But my morning routine is usually around this, if it makes sense.
Mhm. Yes, yes. So, even me, Ankush and Rohan. So we started doing a 30-day challenge. Like it started like 3 days back. So we just gonna test it out things. Like we said, you need to stick with what is actually working with you. So, to find out, like we picked up 5 things. One is like, walking for 15-30 minutes. Second one is like you need to journal. Okay, journal, like something which is coming in your mind, like you need to journal it. Then and also like me and Ankush, like we told that okay, so now we need to post at least one content on a daily basis on Instagram. So something like that, like we put like very, and also like 15-30 minutes of reading any books. So we tried these things, and what I noticed is that for me, I like the concept of journaling. Okay, so
Mhm.
I feel really good when I start journaling things up. It helped me to, like write down all my, emotions and all these stuff. So I feel so good. So I found out that one thing is really, it's something which is working for me. So I kept, pushing really hard on that part. So yeah, so like you said, you need to stick with what is actually working for me. So yeah, working for us. And even I tried waking up, like I tried a lot of stuff, like like waking up 5 a.m. for almost like 30, more than like 40 days. But the thing is that I was not productive. So
Yeah.
I tried a lot of like a lot of challenges. So 5 a.m. I started waking up at 5 a.m. But the thing is, like I usually go to sleep at after 12 o'clock. So 5 a.m. waking up at 5 a.m. was not that much good
Yeah.
for me, and I was not productive at all. I
Hmm.
usually get sleepy by the 12 a.m. 12, sorry, yeah, 12 p.m. 1 o'clock. I'm sleepy. After that, I'm not able to work. So that is something which didn't work for me. So
Ah,
that, based on that, we need to adjust. Like what is actually working for us,
correct.
we need to adjust it. Yes.
Yeah, and
Right.
in
Okay.
adding to that, journaling also helps. So when I start work, I do journal myself. So when I reach
Mm-hmm.
office, before I open my laptop, I usually journal, and it really helps me put my
Mm-hmm.
thoughts together, and I pretty much just write everything that's here. So yeah, that's also a
Yeah.
great practice that works for me. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. All right. Okay. So so now let's move on to the the main part, the e-com stuff. Right. So I know like the main focus, or if you like if someone asks you like what is your biggest strength, so I know that you're gonna say that it's either it is in when POD it is like design search, then in unit is like ecom it will be product research. This is what you are mainly focused on it. So like so how do you approach this game? So how do you find winning products, or how do you what is the step by step procedure you follow to find good products or winning products?
Yeah. So with product research, I always keep the branded approach. So what I would do
Mm-hmm.
is, I would simply find competitor brands in the niche that I want to enter or in the niche that I'm already am. So I'm gonna do Google searches like a customer, that if I'm a customer in within this niche or within this category, what would I be searching for? So my intention of doing all of this is to create a list of competitor brands that are already killing it in this niche. So I'm going to do Google searches. I'm going to use competitor spy tools like SimilarWeb or SpyFu, or ad spy tools like Big Spy. Um, you know, or I would just do some hashtag searches on Instagram, or I would find my competitors on Instagram, follow them, and see their related Instagram accounts in there. So these are the kind of things that I would do here. So my approach is to find competitor brands within my niche, and then once I have a list of these brands in front of me, I'm going to see their bestsellers. I'm going to go to their websites. I'm going to see their bestsellers. I'm going to check their ad libraries. I'm going to see what kind of products or designs are they selling right now. I'm going to see their Instagram tagged images to see what kind of products people are wearing that they're selling. I'm going to see their recent launches, and I'm going to take inspiration from there. So the overall approach is to find competitors through multiple sources, create a list of them, and take inspiration from their bestsellers. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to find suppliers that have those kind of products. If I'm doing drop shipping or selling a physical product apart from POD, I'm going to talk to suppliers. I'm going to ask them, what all products do you have? What's selling the best for you? Show me your catalog. So, and then I'm going to get product ideas from there, before I actually move on to the Facebook ads part.
Yes, yes, that is like a pretty much everything about the product research. Even like I remember like when I was starting with POD, like so you were showing this method. Like so in POD you were showing us like you need to go with Power Ads way, then like a
Yeah.
Facebook ads library part. So basically like I found like 2 to 3 stores like which is coming, like all their ads are actually coming in Power Ads page. So what I did, I noted down their Facebook page, their URL and everything,
Mhm.
like I kept it there. Then I started spying on the like a Facebook ads library, because when I was starting out, I didn't have much money. So Power Ads were a little bit costly for me that during that time. So I,
Mhm.
like what the hack which I did, I just pay $7. There was that time like we can just pay $7, get it for 5 days, use it, then cancel the plan. Then the next month I do the same thing with a new email ID. That is what I was doing. So I noted down these URLs of this popular website. Then I started spying their ads in the Facebook ad library.
Yeah.
So there was one page, like so they were like there, like so you can see like 15 ads uses creative, 25 ads they uses creative in Facebook
Yeah.
ads library. So I was, like whenever they're launching a new design, like I will also launch it. Like I was keeping on searching it, and like I will immediately get it done and like launch it. And through that, like that's how I find my first, second, and third winning designs. So this is
Okay,
like
cool.
something which I did in my initial days. Right. Okay. So my next question will be like, let's say, so you already done like almost like $5 million in sales. So let's say, like if you're starting everything from scratch from today, okay, so will you gonna start with a general store or a niche specific store, and your reason for your like reason for it?
It depends. So if I would be super clear about what niche I want to enter, if I'm super duper confident that this niche has potential, and I have a great idea about the kind of products that I should be selling in this niche, if I've been able to find a great supplier that serves that niche, then I'm definitely going to start with a niche store. But if in case I am not really clear about that yet, if I'm not sure what niche I should enter from day
Mhm.
zero, I'm just going to start with the general store, and I'm going to test multiple niches that make sense to me. Then I'm going to identify what kind of niches and what kind of products are working for me. And once I find multiple winning products within a niche, that's when I'm going to think about transitioning into that niche completely.
Mhm.
So before building a separate store for it, I'm going to ensure that this one specific collection, this one specific niche is working great for me within my general store, and then I'm going to go niche.
Yes, yes. So how should someone evolve their general store into let's say like they have some winning design. So how should someone evolve from general store to niche specific store? So what are things you will keep in mind while doing so?
Got you. So what I'm going to do is, again, if you're doing a general store, you just want to test and focus on finding products that or designs, let's say, that are making you profitable. So what I'm going to
Mhm.
do is I'm going to find niches, multiple niches that make sense to me. I'm going to pretty much test, what shows up, what I feel has a potential to sell, based on shares, based on data, based on different things that, like if we talk about designs, I always tell my clients that, and I'm sure you also do, that the designs should have a wow factor, have an emotion, all of that,
Mhm.
humor, nostalgia.
Mhm.
In products,
Mhm.
has the wow factor. So I'm going to test all of them out, and then I'm going to figure out that which niche and product has the most potential, like I just said. And then I'm
Mhm.
going to do more of that on my existing store. So I'm going to build a collection. I'm going to try multiple upsells. I'm going to send separate emails to people who bought that particular bought, products from that particular collection, just to ensure if this niche or this collection that I created, if it's worth transitioning into completely, if it makes sense, I'm going to transition into this. And we've pretty much taken the same approach with Calvin Ross. Like when we went live, we tested multiple kind of designs in shirts, let's say multiple kinds of shirts. And we really had no idea what kind of shirts are going to work. So we tested everything. We tried formals, we tried plains, we tried checks, we tried prints, we tried, a lot of different stuff. Very recently, we tried women's, and then we're trying women dress shirts, a lot of stuff. And then we realized, okay, this is what really works the best in India. This is what's working the best for us in the US. And then we started doing more of that. So now when you see, if you on the level of the US store, there's a particular kind of products or the particular kind of shirts we sell. And this, so we're kind of, we transition ourselves into a niche store for calvinross.com. And it's the same for India as well. Although in India, because the market is so huge, we're still testing a lot of things out. But, we've kind of niched down a lot in comparison to, how we started back then.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So even, even same thing happened to me. So, I had so when I was starting out, mom niche was working for me. So I started more into mom niche. Then again, suddenly one mother-in-law design also started giving me good sale. So basically my audience was more populating into 50 plus women. So I was doing more, and suddenly after 7-8 months, mom, this niche stopped working for me. Then I started different niches and found one more niche. So that's when then I got 2 to 3 winning designs in the new niche. Then that is the time I joined the one-on-one mentorship with you and Mukul. So there, so he started, okay, so now you have this much winning design. So now, now it's time for you to build a, so if someone is coming to your store, they should feel that, okay, so this store is serving only this particular audience. So he told me to shift, you need to change your, everything should be changed. And, I put everything, all my old niches, like mom niche, dad niche, all this stuff in the family category, then trust everything. I put it in the, base, everything related to my niche stuff. So, that's what I did. And so when someone is actually coming to my store, they will say, okay, so this store is only serving this particular audience. And that there is a lot of advantages, trust is really high in that case, plus, average order value plus repeated customers really high in that case. So that's what one thing, the very first lesson I learned from Mukul during the one-on-one. Right. Okay. So, okay. So when should someone, focus on brand building? So especially in PU, print on demand, because you were doing print on demand. So when should someone actually start focusing more on brand building kind of stuff?
Okay. So I would say that in POD, you want to focus on building a brand around what you're doing. And when I say building a brand, I mean the private labeling, packaging, and let's say the brand story, having a great, beautiful website, having a great relationship with the customers, and coming up with designs that you are creating yourself so that you become a market leader and you become authentic and original instead of just taking inspiration from people around you. So to do this, first of all, you want to become hyper profitable. When you're doing POD, you just step one is just focus on profits. You want to become hyper profitable. Everyone who's starting out. Then you want to master the art of coming up with fresh designs that work, so that you want to learn the process of coming up with your own codes, coming up with your own designs, getting designs made, letting the designer know what all you need, trying the same codes on different products and seeing if it's working for you or not. So you want to master the art of coming up with great designs, with great codes, with great ideas. Once you master that art, and once you're sure that whatever you're trying now, your success ratio has improved, and this business success relies on you instead of the competition around you, that's when, and once you start seeing predictable, profitable sales consistently over and over again, and you see that all your operations are running smoothly, wherein your your ads are safe, your ad accounts are safe, your emails are going on, you're getting consistent profits every single month, and you have the time and space to now focus on building the brand around this, that's when you want to start focusing on brand building the most.
Got it. Okay. So my next question will be how how do you improve your margins? It's not just about the the you focus only on Facebook ads. There are a lot of stuff, right? Back end, front end. So how do you improve your margins for your,
Mm.
brands?
Okay. So for the front end, we would use upsell apps, and
Mm-hmm.
post-purchase upsell apps work the best for us.
Mm-hmm.
I use One Click Upsell by Zipify,
Mm-hmm.
and we usually send people to two offer pages. Now Zipify launched, I think very recently they launched this, that on one upsell page you could have three products listed. So
Mm-hmm.
we send them to that, and then if they buy, we send them to upsell two. If they don't buy, we send them to downsell one. So we pretty much send them to two offer pages after they've already bought from us. So after
Mm-hmm.
they've made the payment, instead of sending them to the thank you page, we send them to these funnels. We're using one click upsell. I haven't done a lot of testing with click funnels and all of that. But yeah, one click upsell is like fine. It works decent. That's the first thing that I do. I don't really. I haven't tried a lot of pre upsells wherein you
Pre-purchase,
sell them
pre-purchases.
pre-purchase
Yeah.
upsells. We haven't really tried them a lot because
Mm-hmm.
I feel that maybe they would reduce conversions. Post-purchase was working for us, so we never really bothered to try the
Mm-hmm.
pre-purchase, honestly. And
Mm-hmm.
the second thing that we do to increase margins on the front end is very simple. A simple hack is just accepting tips from our clients. So in the checkout
Mm-hmm.
settings, we have this accepting tips option turned on. So we see that every other day, our clients are sharing tips,
Mm-hmm.
$5, $10, $20, which is lovely. So these are the two things that we do to increase our margins on the front end. And sometimes we also do bundling, but again, bundling, it depends. If you've got complementary products to what you're selling, bundling can definitely work out for you. So you could simply just use any bundle app and start offering bundles. You could also just offer a discount on a particular value. So like
Mm-hmm.
above $100, offer them a discount and stuff like that. So these are a couple of things that we've tested, but post-purchase upsells and accepting tips is what works the best for us. For backend, we do a lot of emails. We've got automation sequences. We've got a welcome flow, and then we send around 2 to 3 emails a month. And we send these emails whenever we've got a new collection coming in. We don't really send any value kind of stuff, honestly. But the very first email that we send to our clients on automation is the brand story, and it's written by me. It has my name in there, and all the replies that customers share, that comes to my inbox, my personal company inbox. And in that email, I usually ask them a question: what made you buy from us? So that gives me clarity about what really made them buy. It helps us improve our marketing and messaging. And then we do on the Indian store, we do WhatsApp marketing. Emails work okayish in India, but WhatsApp works really well. Like the other day, we spent
Mm-hmm.
like 3,000 rupees on a campaign, and we did sales of 1.8 lakh rupees, which was like crazy. So WhatsApp marketing works really well in India. We use an app for it. So yeah, for the back end,
Mm-hmm.
email and WhatsApp. For the front end, it's usually upsell apps and accepting tips. That's it.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Like even in my case, like what works the best for me was actually pre-purchase was not working. Like I tried multiple times to make it happen, but I saw that conversion rate was like going really low.
Hmm.
Then I
Okay.
tried post-purchase. So I'm selling t-shirts. So what I actually did was like I was selling the same design in mask. I
Hmm.
tried selling, like a t-shirt with like some other, like a same niche t-shirt in the post purchase. But what actually happened is like there are a lot of steps for the customer to do. Like, they need to select the color, they need to select the sizes. So I feel like there are a lot of steps. Even I tried that, like it was okay. Like it was not, I'm not getting much
Hmm.
convinced. Then I tried same design in the mask. So mask is like there, it's like just one click, the purchase is
Hmm.
done. So it reduces the number of steps by the customer. So which increase the conversion rate, obviously it increased the average order value. This is what happened to me. This is what worked for
Correct.
me actually.
All
Right.
right.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So how do you analyze your customers' interest or data and make changes in the product or your business? Like, so I learned a lot of stuff regarding, yeah, the way you treat customers or way you analyze them. These are like based on the data, and based on the data, you make decisions. So I'm really, like the whatever I learned is actually from you. So this is gonna be the, most important question in this particular podcast.
Okay. Okay. So, you just want to keep it simple, and you want to use any available communication channel that you have to speak with them. Either it could be email, it could be through WhatsApp, it could be through a call. And what you want to do is first, like, this is what we do. Like I said, in the very first email that we send to our customers in the automation is an introduction about the brand. And the call to action in that email is that what made you buy from us? in a good way.
Mm.
So this makes us explain that this is why our customers are buying from us. They're going to give you different reasons, but once you know, once you get multiple responses, you're going to start noticing a pattern. And that pattern will tell you that what your brand USPs are and how your marketing and messaging should be, or what kind of features you should work on, or what kind of things you should mention on your product pages. That's a very simple thing to do. Secondly, if you want deeper feedback, what you would do is you would send your customers an email or a WhatsApp to the entire customer list. So let's say just send it to the first 1,000 customers, 100 customers first, and you just tell them that, hey, I'm the founder of the brand. My name is Vinu, or my name is John. I'm the founder of the brand, and I'm looking to, we want to understand you better because you're a dream client, or you're a dream customer, and we want more customers like you. So, would you be open to answer a few questions for me? Now, we've tested this out. People are not really comfortable coming on calls, so they usually prefer emails. So, what I'm going to say is, there are a set of questions that we have to ask for you. If you would spend the time to answer those questions and spend 10-15 minutes with us, we'd love to as a token of gratitude, we'd love to send you a free product just to make up for your time. And then if you're in, just reply back. So, and then people would reply back to your email, and then what you do is you send them the list of questions that will help you understand them better. Questions like, what made you buy from us? What other products do you think we should sell? What other brands do you buy from? What do you love about us? What do you think we should improve? What kind of NPOD, what kind of quotes would you like to see on our t-shirts? Or let's say, where else can we use this design that you got? On what other product would you like to see it on? So you're going to ask them these kind of questions, and you're also going to let them know that please answer in detail and stuff. Or you could also ask them to share the product image, although that's a separate discussion. But anyway, so. And then when people reply to you, if you're convinced with the responses, if you feel they've made the effort, great, just send them a free t-shirt as you promised. If you feel that they've just given one word responses, let them know that, hey, could you please be a little more detailed here? And once you're done getting all the information from them, just send them a free gift. So this is pretty much what we do. And the data that we get from here, we use that in our marketing and our sourcing and our research. And it really helps. It really helps. Like, my customers for the brand that I run, they've told me about my competitors that I had no idea about. No matter how much research I did, they've told me about the brand competition. In fact, 2 days back, a US customer, he sent me 5 brands that he has products for. I asked him, he did not send it randomly. I asked him, and customers now send me screenshots of the products we're launching, telling me how great they look. And this particular customer sends me, he tells me that you want to start this product line. He keeps recommending me, start this product line. And we're actually focusing on that right now. So this really helps you in improving your marketing, in doing your product research and your sourcing, and in the way you communicate to your customers, and in the way you share your USPs. It really helps.
Yes. So even same thing happened with me. So what I actually did was, so very first thing, I transformed my general store into a niche specific store.
Okay.
Then what I actually did was I started spying on, like the people who are actually engaging on ads. Like I started visiting their profiles every single day. This is like a 1 hour routine for me. So I was doing this, and I found a lot of patterns. Okay, so some people, even though like I was not into that niche, like people were actually interested in that. For example, the people who are buying from me, they were interested in one pattern was like Christianity. Most of the people who are like, anyways, like I was targeting 50 plus women, and these people were more into Christianity. The post they share was actually related to Christianity. Few people were they also share content related to baking, cooking recipes, which I never know. I didn't have any kind of idea, even though my niche is like something different from what what these are actually. Some people are into like American football, and another thing I noticed, like they, most of the people, they have either the profile picture or their cover image could be with their grandkids. Okay, this is something like, so which I never had any idea of it. Then what I actually did, I started picking the first one, like Christianity. Then even though my niche is different, I started using this like Christianity related interest in my ads, which reduced my cost per purchase to less than $2, which I never had no idea. So like $2 in 2022 in cost for CPP, which is like very hard to get. So, like then what I actually did was like I started doing and started, finding a lot of codes in Christianity, combining it with my niche. So that's when I started, like focusing on bringing up, my main niche with Christianity niche. And I did this, which brought my entire store. With that design, like I did or more than $100,000. So if I didn't spy on those customers, like I would have never got any kind of, results like that. So, that's what actually needed. So basically, like your pixel will be more optimized with this kind of data. So, so you should be really good at playing with that data. So, now I started, like coming with my own codes, like combining Christianity. I started researching on Christianity related interests and trying to merge my niche into it. So which will, like that will give me much more advantage. That will give my, what do you say, uniqueness in my codes. So that's what I'm focused on right now. And also not only that, currently like I'm selling, like so I haven't started it. So this is my plan for this month. A canvas of Jesus Christ. This
Okay.
is what, so understanding like what our customer is more into. So that's my focus currently on. And also like I need to start doing the surveys. So like so I found like I was I learned this from you. Like you do a lot of surveys. So even I have the screenshot of you. I think in one Q&A call you shared the list of questions you
Yeah,
asked
yeah,
the
yeah.
customer. So yeah, I have the screenshot. Like everything with me. So I found this like loops through loops, like you can actually send automations where you can collect data automatically. So that's what like, like I'm working currently. And also like, like I forgot to tell you one more point that, so, like Mukul was telling, like you need to collect a lot of photo reviews to enhance the trust. This will build you, like, so that is
Yeah.
also, so I started installing loops. So I installed loops. Then, so what I actually did was like, so I just want to see whether people are happy with my product, like everything or not. So what I actually did was like, give me a photo review. I will give you a 20% discount. I did that. A lot of people like, I started getting a lot of photo reviews. Then what I actually did was like, that's when I understood like, like I want to see like what kind of people who are buying from me. Like what, like, so most of the people who are buying from me was black people. I didn't know that. So this, I gave a lot of idea on that. Then another thing was like, so in the second email, those of you are give me photo review. The second email was actually buy two, get 20%. That was my, what do you say, marketing kind of stuff. Buy
Okay.
two, instead of saying, like buy one, get 20%, I was doing buy two, get 20% off. So this increased my average order value automatically. So people were, in order to use that coupon code, they were buying it again and again from me. So this gave me a lot of, increase my returning customer rate, plus increase my average order value automatically. So, this is what worked for me.
Okay. That's interesting. Yeah. Thanks for sharing. Cool.
So my next question would be like, how do you treat email or SMS promotion to your existing email list? And what are the things you keep in mind while doing this?
Okay. So for emails and SMSs, we keep it simple. Like I said, we would only send promotional emails and SMSs when we are launching a new set of designs or a new collection. Or in fact, the last time what we did is we had like 20 designs that 20 new products that we got shot, 20 new designs here. But instead of launching all of them at once, we were drip feeding them. So we were launching 5 designs every week, so that we could send emails every week to our customers, letting them know that we have 5 new designs coming up. So this way we would send like 2 to 3, usually 2 to 3 emails a month, with pure product recommendations, simple, keeping it simple, adding product images. And we do this when we're launching a new collection, we don't really give any discounts. We just let them know that this is what we're launching. We give discounts when we want to clear stock, or when we want to sell something which is very, very old, and we got stock for it. That's what we do it. And it's the same with SMS. So we're going to send SMSs while we're sending emails. So yeah, with email SMS promotions, we just keep it simple, and this is what we do. What I've seen is that if you are launching and offering products that you are sure that your customer list is going to love, they're going to buy from you. You just want to let them know, and they're going to come running. In fact, the way Facebook works is that, of course, Facebook shows your new launches to people who've already bought from you, even if you're not remarketing to them. So a lot of times, a lot of our repeat purchases come from Facebook ads, because they keep seeing our ads, because Facebook knows, the pixel knows that these people are existing customers. But yeah, with email and SMSs, this is how we approach this.
Yes, yes. Yeah, like even I do like I send like two toys, like once in a month, two emails. And
Hmm.
like the best thing which worked for me, like, was actually like last Valentine's Day. I sent a random email. So like a
Hmm.
random, like I didn't like think about the like the what do you say, the contents in the emails already. Just gave them 20% discount of the entire store. Just send a random email, and that
Hmm.
one email has generated like more than $500 in sale. Like I was shocked. That's when
Okay.
I understood like, oh, this has some potential. Like so I need to focus on that. So then from that moment, like like I started searching on Google, finding few templates. Try testing it out. So which is actually like so like in like this is one thing which I learned from you. It is more easy to sell to an existing customer than to a new customer.
Hmm.
Right. So this is one thing I learned. Like so that's when I started focusing more on this area, like your existing customer.
Hmm.
So yeah. All right. Okay. So let's jump into Facebook ads. Right. So if someone says that Facebook doesn't work anymore, like how do you see this? I know
Okay.
like you might have heard this question like many times. So how do you see this?
Yeah, so I feel that Facebook ads will always work. You just got to adapt to the market and win it. Simple.
Mm-hmm.
So, people have been sharing this for ages now. Facebook doesn't work, whatever. Yeah, Facebook definitely will continue to change. Like it's very different from what it used to be last year or the year before that. But people have figured out ways to make it work. So you just got to adapt with where, Facebook is going in their
Mm-hmm.
world. Like people say that the cost per acquisition is going really high. Yes, it is. And with more competition, with as time passes, of course, the cost to acquire a customer on an average will definitely go higher. So the way you adapt to it is increasing your margins, because the one who can spend the most to acquire a customer wins the game. So you want to increase your margins in there, increase your AOV, increase your lifetime customer value.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times, especially during Q4, people complain a lot about ad bans, ad account bans, and all of that. So you want to have a really strong infrastructure in place that will ensure that you don't run out of business if your page gets disabled or if your ad accounts gets disabled. So you want to have the right infrastructure in place for that. So I would say that yes, Facebook ads will always work for people who are going to be willing to adapt with the way Facebook changes with time.
Yeah, exactly. So, anyways, like as more competition comes, like the cost per acquiring customer keeps on high. But it's all
Mm.
about, like I said, it's like you should be really good at mastering how to make more money from your existing customer. That's where we make more margins, I guess. Right.
Mm.
Right. Okay. So,
Correct.
yeah. So, how do you, like, how do you test with Facebook ads? Like, what is your testing strategy? Like, how do you, basically for your Calvin tools, like, how do you do that?
Yeah. So with our brands, what we do is we give it very simple. We go with 4 ad sets on the level of the campaign, $10 budgets each, ad set budgets. We go with single interests. We go super broad. Sometimes we don't use any interest at all. So we just keep it blank. And with every ad set, we associate 3 to 4 ads. The ads have the same copy, pretty much the same
Mhm.
copy, the general copy that works for us. But the creatives are different. Sometimes you would use a video creative, but sometimes you would do a photo creative. In POD, I've seen in fashion and POD, photo creatives usually work the best. So we try multiple creatives with time, like we do influencer collaborations. We get creators from there. We do our own photo shoots. We get creators from there. Sometimes we click pictures of the products ourselves. We get creators from there. But what we realized is that with Facebook, on the level of testing, it's all about the creative. The more creatives you can try, the more different ways, creative ways you can identify to show the same product differently with different angles, let's say, the better it is. So yeah,
Mhm.
that's how we test.
Right, right, right. Okay. So, so my next question would like, how do you define your, like your audience in the ad set level? Like, for example, in POD, like we decide who's gonna buy it and who's gonna. So, what's your approach in that case? Like, how do you do it exactly?
Okay, so we keep it simple. Again, we go with really broad keywords on the level of the audience that we should target. Like if I know that I'm selling, let's say, a pen, so I'm going to target the interest pen, or I'm going to
Mhm.
target, interest related to pens, let's say writing, or I'm going to target brands that sell pens. So I'm going to go for Pierre Cardin or Parker or Montblanc,
Mhm.
let's say, the kind of brands that sell pens, the kind of pens that I want to sell. So
Mhm.
it's super direct. Like what we've seen is going super broad usually works the best with Facebook.
Yes, yes. So so basically like why I asked this question because when I was starting out, it was very difficult for me to find interest and
Ah,
define the
yeah,
audience.
yeah.
So so I think it was like what I'm talking is actually in 2020. So but I don't know if someone asked this question and you were telling that, so you were showing it like write down who's gonna buy it and who's gonna wear it. So basically in POD you told that write down who's gonna buy it and who's gonna wear it. Then either target people who's gonna buy it or target people who's gonna wear it. Keep it simple. So that
Mm,
gave me a lot of lot of insights. So
clarity.
that
Yeah.
yeah, so that helped me to crack this code. So I started even defining more into ages, gender. So if it is a if it is someone which is actually, let's say, a t-shirt which is wear by grandmother, so what I actually do is like I play around with the ages. Like so I will ask myself, okay, so what particular age does grandma's falls under? So mostly it will be 60 plus or 50 plus. I keep it that. Then what gender does a grandma falls under? So it will be woman. Then what are the related interests? So even I try to find indirect targetings, like like a beauty products, like a anti-aging creams in for grandma, and it works.
Okay.
So this is what so this one thing, so writing down now I don't do that, but like initially, like almost like 5 to 6 months I was doing this. Whenever I tested new design, like I will write it, who's gonna buy it, who's gonna wear it. And also like one more thing I do is like I don't target, so let's say I don't target persons who don't have the capacity to buy. Basically, people who are actually, let's say, 18 to 25, like I keep it more than that, so that they have the financial capacity to buy it from me.
Okay.
So so that is one thing which like I learned from you in the initial days. Right. Okay, so now my next question is like, how do you approach the game of scaling with Facebook ads? Your scaling strategy, and what scaling strategy worked for you the best?
Okay. So with scaling, it's pretty much the same strategy that we've been using. Although we do multiple things, we also test manual bidding and stuff. But usually what we do is we continue adding single interest based ad sets, $10 each within the campaign that we
Mhm.
launched for that particular product. And we do this like every 2 to 3 days. I'm going to add 2 to 3 new interests. In fact, I don't run the ads anymore, by the way.
Mhm.
It's been a long time now. But I know the strategies that we
Mhm.
share. So just sharing that.
Mhm.
So what we do every 2 to 3 days, we keep adding two to three interests, and these are all single interests related to the product, related to the niche that I'm selling. Then once I feel that I'm pretty much done testing every single base interest related to my product, and there's nothing left, no possibility, no neighboring interest, nothing left. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick the top ad sets, let's say the
Mhm.
top five, top six, whatever. And this number of how many assets you want to pick will depend on the ROAS you're getting and the profits, the overall profits,
Mhm.
the overall performance of all the assets. You're going to set yourself a standard. Let's say I'm only going to pick assets with a ROAS of more than 4. So you're going to select all of them. You're going to duplicate them into a new campaign. This new campaign is going to be a CBO, and the budget of the CBO is going to be $10 into the number of assets you added. So if you added
Mhm.
5 assets, it's going to be $50 budget per day, and then we're going to let it run for 2 days, and every 2 to 3 days we will continue increasing the budget or decreasing the budget based on the performance by 25%. So if we started with $50, I'm going to continue increasing the budget to $60, $62, or let's say $70, $80 the next day, something like that. So
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, overall we do this. Sometimes we also try manual bidding, but usually CBOs usually perform well for us when it comes to scaling.
Scaling, yeah, yeah. So basically, like so all your when you in your podcast, like all the when you interview all the people who close like 100,000, all your students.
Uh-huh.
So for everybody, so I was analyzing everything. So for everybody, CBO is what working for them. I have
Hmm.
yeah, I done so I have heard this like for everybody, basically for the people who closed 100,000. But for me, whatever I did, CBO is not working. I tried multiple times, but it is not working at all. Then like so then after I joined, but I knew that like this is where the magic is. Like like I was not ready to like stop it. I keep on trying it multiple times whether it is gonna work or not. Then after I joined your one-on-one session, like so
Yeah.
Mughal was telling, okay, let's scale it up. Okay, let's scale it up using CBO. So I told like CBO is not working, but let it be. Let's try it out. So like so he told, okay, so put the budget at $50. Let's see what is gonna happen. So that's how like then CBO started to work for me. So it was like I tried multiple steps, but I know that. So one pattern I see in all the people who cross 100,000 in the, like in your, like basically your student, this is one thing, like for everybody, CPO is was
Yeah,
magic for them. Right.
correct.
And yeah. And also like I had this one more thing I want to share with you. So when I joined the one-on-one mentorship, like I was having this fear of losing money. Like so when I joined the, one-on-one mentorship, like I was proudly saying that, like I'm spending, like a $30, $40 on a daily basis. I'm generating 100 to, like a $150. I'm happy with that. Like, so this is the mindset I was having.
Yeah.
And so he, like, so Mughal understood that is this one thing. So this guy, and I was not ready to invest in any single paid apps. That was the mindset. Like, I was seeing things as an expense. So why should I do that? Why should I increase the budget? So, like, let's play it safe. This is the mindset. And he started doing this. And I asked, like, after 1 month, I asked, like, why, like I'm literally scared of spending more money on Facebook ads, like, so up to $100, like I'm okay with that. Anything above that on a daily basis, like up to $100, I'm okay with it. Anything above that, I can't even sleep. so
Yeah.
so I asked him, like, how can I overcome this one thing? So he told, like, so he told me this one thing weirdly that, like, I
Mm.
want you to earn money. This is what he
Mm.
told me. So he told me, like, no, you cannot spend $100 on a day. Like, you cannot go like this. You need to scale it up. You need to spend at least like $200 on a daily. But like, like if I do that, like I won't be able to sleep. So he told, like, let it be. Like, I want you to lose that money. So then only you will overcome that. So what he did, he immediately changed the budget. Okay. So we were in a call. He told, okay, let's try 200. Let's see what is going to happen. And and that day it was not profitable and I was a loss. Okay. But
Mm.
after doing that, that fear is gone. Now I was super comfortable with spending $200 on a daily basis. That fear was literally gone. Then I tried 200. Then then it was then I made it profitable. Then what I actually did, I increased to 300, then to 400, then to 500, then to 600. So that gradually, like I was able to, like overcome that fear of losing money. Then like, so even Mukul was telling, so let's install this app called Video. So he told, like, I want you to install this app called Video. So I told, no, 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 it's like $15 per month. I cannot do that. It's an expense. But this is actually my mindset when I joining the one-on-one. So I don't know, let it be. Let's try it for 1 month. If it is not working, like we will stop it. But that one app within the next 3 months, like it generated like more than $22,000 in revenue for me. So it is like when comparing that $15, like the amount of return I was getting was really high. And also like
Mm.
after that he told, okay, so now I want you to install this app called Loops. I told, no, come on, like it is like again like another $15. Like, so app expense was, I was thinking about the expense, but like that even Loops was doing really magic for me. So it, like I was getting like 4% conversion rate. That from 4 to, after installing Loops, after getting a lot of reviews, it went to like 8 to 9%, which
Oh,
I never thought,
nice.
yeah. So even that was like, and because of that 9%, my cost per conversion, like CPP in Facebook ads was coming really down. So when I changed my mindset to like investing, so rather than seeing things an expense, so that changed my entire game. So that is actually the one of the biggest lesson I learned in the one-on-one. Like that changed my wonders in my like even the way I think, all this stuff. It literally changed the entire stuff.
Okay.
Right. Okay. So and my next question is like, what are the common, common traits or patterns you see in all your successful students? Like, what is the one thing like? There will be a lot of patterns, right? So, what are things you see in all these successful, like the people who close like 100,000, all your students? So, what are things you see in them?
Okay, so you being one of them, I would say that one like couple of common things that I've noticed is that one, they show up. By showing up,
Mhm.
I mean that they would show up in the consulting calls. They would ask questions. If they get stuck, they're gonna ask for help. Two, they take action. They're massive action takers. Whatever they learn and whatever makes sense to them, they will act on it no matter what. So they will work hard, they will take action, and then they'll come back to you and let you know that it's done. Three, they trust the process. So whatever processes we share with them, they just trust the processes, they follow them. Those processes, if they stick to the processes, they work for them because the kind of processes we share with all our clients and students, we're pretty much testing them ourselves, using them ourselves, even right now. So 100%. And I would say four, they don't reinvent the loop, especially when they're starting out. Um, they would do what's proven to work instead of burning their money when they're starting out on day one, having no idea about how this works. But the ones who just don't reinvent the loop and just follow what's already proven, they usually get far better results. So yeah, I mean, these are the things that I see. And five, I also see that every successful person that we work with, client, student, whatever, they have a, they're very hungry for success. They have that passion, they have that fire that I really want this, I really want to do this. And they just don't stop, they don't settle, they don't give up. They just keep they just keep hitting over and over again. And I think this is the most important thing here. The ones who
Mhm.
are not willing to give up, the ones who are not willing to settle, they always win the game.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, even like so after joining your community, like I got a good relationship with Ankush, Archit,
Mm-hmm.
and like Rohan. Like we are mostly
Mm-hmm.
like Ankush is like Ankush and Rohan, like we meet up, catch up, like often, and we share
Mm.
like what is actually working. So even I noticed it, like these people like so they're super passionate about what they're doing. They're super passionate about whatever happens. They are not like quitting that particular thing they're doing. Like that's not in their somewhere ever in their brain. Like it's like not in their dictionary. Whatever
Mm.
happened, they're going to move it. So this is a mindset, they have, and they have immense love for what they are actually doing. So passionate, 100% commitment, massive action like this, exactly. So
Right.
yeah, right. And also like one more thing is that they're the ones, who don't complain about, like if something is not working, they don't complain. They accept the reality that it's their responsibility to find the solution and move ahead. That
Yeah, I
is
miss
one
that.
more stuff.
Absolutely right. They
Yeah.
take responsibility for pretty much everything.
Yeah.
If it's good, if it's bad, doesn't matter. They're not gonna come and blame you that listen, it's not
Hmm.
working out. Instead of blaming you, they would just look at themselves and ask
Yeah.
themselves, okay, fine. They take responsibility that this is my business. I'm doing this for myself. I started this. This is
Mm.
my baby, and then they just take charge and take
Mm.
responsibility of taking it forward. 100%.
Yes, yes. Right. Okay. So, what do you have to say to someone who gonna start an e-com business, and how should they start? Approach this game. So, if you could give us some like a step by step steps on to follow, like especially someone who's like beginning.
Hmm. So I would say that when in the beginning, you definitely want to have a mentor, someone who can really share a process with you, and you want to work with someone who's practicing the business at that very point, so that someone can tell you that this is what's working in the market right now. Because once you have that process, like that process is going to be worth. I mean, that process that someone who's experienced is going to share with you is going to be very valuable, because that person spent a lot of money and a lot of time in building that process or learning the process. So start with the proven process for sure. Now, when it comes to what kind of e-commerce business model you want to work with, any model can work. Any business model, be it be it drop shipping, be it print on demand, be it self fulfillment, any model can work. Any country can work. If you want to sell in India or US or UK, any country can work. Don't let anyone come and tell you that don't sell in this country or just sell in this country. Any country can work. Yeah, the rules of the game might become a little different, but every country has a
Mm-hmm.
potential to make your e-commerce business win, and any product can work. When I started my e-commerce journey, everyone was going crazy about dropshipping. I had no idea about what print on demand was. I tried dropshipping for a month and I saw that everyone around me was getting so much success with dropshipping, but it wasn't really working for me. I tested a lot of products, I got impatient, and my mentor recommended me to do POD, and I gave it a shot and it started working for me. And we did that for a long time, and then we started taking that process to our clients and students. So any product can work. And today, we're selling something that we've never sold before. We're selling men's shirts and women's dresses and all of that, which is very different from what we do in POD. And then we've also got clients that are selling different dropshipping products now. So anything can work. Any product can sell for you. You just want to focus on what makes the most sense to you and just do it.
Mm-hmm.
Follow a proven process. Don't limit yourself. Test the waters. Take responsibility, and just don't settle. That's it.
All right. Okay. So I have one last question. Like so basically, like I had just you will just cut this part. Okay. So I had one question in mind. Like I just forgot it. Okay. What was it? Wait. Um, just give me 1 second. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Take your time.
Uh, mm, I had one good question actually. Like wait. All right. Okay. So yeah. So let's continue. Okay. So I have one last question for you. So it is actually like, how do you see e-commerce in the next 5 to 10 years? Like, what is the position of e-commerce industry in the next 5 to 10 years?
Okay. So like 5 to 10 years. Okay, so if you ask me long term, I would say that the market, even in the present and even in the future, is going to be dominated by serious e-com brand owners, people who take care of their customers, people who keep innovating, people who keep coming up with new products, with new designs, new
Mm.
concepts, people who focus on making more money or leveraging their existing customers instead of just chasing new ones. Um, I think, yeah, I think that's where I see e-commerce going even right now and even in the future. Uh, you know, business models wherein people just keep testing random shit out that is really low quality, and people just approach the business as if they're going to get lucky and become millionaires. Those kind of businesses, they're going to keep they would not be able to survive for sure. So overall, I think long term, it's all about building a brand. It's all about building a relationship with the customers, having trust, focusing on quality, focusing on customer service, focusing on customer experience, focusing on understanding what these real human beings that are buying from you want, and doing more of that. The brands that are going to focus on serving the customers more are going to be paid more. So that's how I see it.
Yeah. So even so I was I've actually I had a call with Alex Ferretov's team. Okay, so
Mhm.
it's your mentor, right? So I just
Mhm.
followed, so he was giving some free, some TikTok course or something like that. So I
Mhm.
was talking to him. So I told like I'm doing like $2,000 to $3,000 on a monthly. And I was like, I was doing so much. That's the kind of mentality I was having. I was doing like two to $3,000 on a daily basis. So that's what I was saying. So he told like only 2 to 3,000 on a daily basis. That's much. That's how much you are doing. So we have students like who are doing like $60,000 on a daily basis, and
Mhm.
the way they approach is actually so they start their business, they make it to maxi success, then they have an exit plan. So that's
Mhm.
something I that's something like I never thought of. So after so after talking to him, so they told we do this, we make it to huge success, then we have an exit plan as well. And also like talking to e-commerce, now all the retail shops is going to be vanished, let's say in 10 to 15 years. Everything is going to be online. So whatever, every single thing we're going to buy, it's going to be through through e-commerce only. So I that's what I see. And also like building relationship, brand building, so that's going to take place, right? All right. So so that is a wonderful a podcast with you. And I'm super grateful for having you on, like coming to this podcast. And also like whatever I'm doing till this point, like whatever I'm doing in my life, it's all because of you. I'm super grateful for you and Mukul, the people who changed my entire life. So I'm super grateful. And thank you so much for coming to the podcast. And so any last word you want to tell to my audience?
Oh yeah, so I would like to say that thank you so much for having me here. You've been one of the most, I would say, you're a great person. It's been a pleasure to know you. It's been a pleasure to work with you, and it's always so good to talk to you. And you really take action, and we've been seeing and witnessing your growth, and you pretty much have what it takes to continue killing it and continue impacting many lives. And I know the kind of things that you're doing right now. They're pretty nice. And so a huge shout out to you for the great human being you are, for the great business owner you are. And thank you, for always being so loving, so respectful all these years. So we really appreciate it. And I'm sure, I believe that how a person is in one area of life, the person's pretty much the same in every area. So I'm sure that you treat everyone around you, be it your mentors, be it your students, be it your family, be it your customers, in the same way you treat us. So huge shout out to you, and I'm grateful, and I just wish the absolute best for you and the entire
Thank you.
audience.
Like, yeah, it means a lot for me. So you are actually like first mentor who changed my entire life. Like so, I stick with one plan. Like only one mentor for very long time. Then only I
Yeah,
started
yeah, yeah.
looking into other courses. But the one
Same.
thing I noticed is that after been to a lot of mentorship programs. So one thing I
Mm.
noticed in you is you simplify the like any whatever the difficult concept it is, like you simplify it in a very simple way that even a child can understand it. That's what, and you literally spoon feed each and every, like with your mentorship or with your Q&A calls, like everything. So that's what I loved, and I felt it very difficult when I joined other mentor programs. It was
Mm.
not that spoon feeding kind of stuff. It was not like missing because of that. I faced a lot of difficulty there because I need to do a lot of work than comparing to like a DD program or BBO. So that's like a so that's why, like like for me, my favorite mentors is always you and Mukul. Like there is no doubt in that. Even though I've been to a lot of US mentors or anything, like whatever it is, it's like I started with everything from you and Mukul. So still, you guys are the best. So even you asked me this, why did you buy? Like why did you enroll into my course? So it's because
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like I felt like I never been to any other mentorship or I've never seen such kind of mentorship program because which is like literally spoon feeding every single concept. Even if it is a single mouse click, you show it us. Like that kind of spoon feeding you guys do, like which is phenomenal. Which I never see, and the support you guys giving, like So it's only thing we need to do is just take action. That's it, and it will definitely work for us. So you
Yeah.
made it so easy for us. So so that's why like that's why like you're still killing it. You still your program, you're getting a lot of success stories, all this stuff, right? So that's it. Okay, so let's wind up this call. Sorry. So let's wind up this podcast. So thank you so much, Nishkarsh, for coming to
Yeah.
this podcast.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Lovely talking to you. Thank
Same
you so
here.
much. Cheers. Bye bye.
All right.
All right. Okay.